Okay. So this meeting is not about teaching the participants on how to use CivilCAD. It's about showing some of the new features, highlight of the new features of the 11.1 version. Again, it's not about training, it's about exposing to features. Yes, I will give time for Q&A session at the end, but please keep in mind that it's not a training. So you can download the new CivilCAD 11.1 from the website, from here. You can download from here, the setup. What you need to do is just to, if you have already have CivilCAD 11, just uninstall using Windows Add Remove, and then install the new downloadable version. The license that you have for 11 will also apply for 11.1. You don't need a new license. If you have earlier version than 11, then you'll need to, first of all, you can install the 11.1 alongside the earlier version. I mean, you can have 10.4 and 11 works together, but you will need a license from us for the version. Meaning if you have 10.4, the license for 11.1 would be different. Highlights of what new. We have done a lot of improvement, a significant improvement in performance and features. We will show you some of them here in the session. Obviously, the latest version complies with all the new versions of AutoCAD and ZWCAD, the 2026 version, and soon the 2027. We will release a patch whenever 2027 will be available in the markets. Key enhancement. So I already mentioned 2026, AutoCAD 2026 and ZWCAD 2026. A big change is that we are now working with MDI working mode. That means that you can open simultaneously several DW sessions in the same CivilCAD environment. We will see it in action when we are talking. Sheet management, what we call frames division and frames maker. We have done significant improvement over there. Labeling system, you'll see it mainly on pipelines. It will soon be available also for roads, but on pipelines, we change dramatically the labeling system. You'll see it. When I say labeling, I'm talking about text along pipelines in the layout. Enhanced layer management, we differentiate for more layers, again, especially in pipelines, you'll see it, created more layers. By the way, we changed the entire set of layers. Probably you saw it already, that CivilCAD creates by default. And we are now using the American standard for a layers management. Crossing detection option, what we call crossings, we have done few enhancements over there. You'll see it in action. On the design of the pipeline, we improved the interoperability between the drawing and the table, the interaction between the two. We can now insert sleeves on pipelines in both water supply, sewage, drainage, and so on. In cross-section, we've done some improvement to the closure. When I say closure, I'm talking about the left and sides of the cross-sections, how the cross-section close. And we have done improvement to the earthworks calculation accuracy. On the f-works calculation accuracy, I'm mainly referring to one surface with the other. We are doing some additional modification, which we will also provide as a patch very soon. This is the way to contact us. So this WhatsApp or this phone number, this email. And I think it's now time for starting the live demonstration. Okay, let's not waste time. Let's start with the real show. So I will start CivilCAD. For this demonstration, I will use ZWCAD 2026. Those of you that use AutoCAD, it will be the same. I'm not using special features of ZWCAD. So my own CivilCAD will start with ZWCAD as the drawing engine. Something that you will have to know, when CivilCAD starts, it automatically starts 2 instances of the drawing environment. I mean, if you are using ZWCAD, you'll see 2 instances of ZWCAD. If you have AutoCAD, you'll see 2 instances of AutoCAD. I mean, you will not see it, but this is what CivilCAD will load. So again, now when you see CivilCAD now, in the background, there is another ZWCAD instance. You don't see it. You will see it only when you go to sections. So CivilCAD started. I'm using 2026, ZWCAD 2026. I hope that most of you have got familiar already with the workspace, which we introduced in 11. We reinforce it with additional features, which comes here. I know I saw many of you just close it. No, try to use it. It's a very powerful tool. Now, I said that one of the change is that this version works with several DWG instances. It means that I can have additional drawing here, what we call NDI drawing. There's no problem to open several DWG in the same environment. The CivilCAD itself will affect only the first one. The CivilCAD itself will affect only the first one. Let me show you how it works. If I open a new project, and I will open it here on CC, and in this folder, and I will call it webinar session 1. Okay, so this is the project. So you see, this is the one that will be affected by the CivilCAD. I can still maintain some additional drawing here. CivilCAD will not touch them. I will start with taking a DWG of the survey and some roads design which I received. I will just open it here. I'm using standard AutoCAD or ZWCAD. Okay, so this is what I've chosen. This is what I received. It has some existing ground level lines, which I saw, and some design of a road. And I'm going to use this environment to design some new features, like a water supply here, a sewage over here. So first, what I will do, I will select all. Sorry. You know, I'm using standard AutoCAD. Control C. Go to my own DWG, which is associated with my project, and right-click, clipboard to regional coordinates, and that's it. Okay, now I've put it inside. Of course, I can use external reference, block reference, but this is the easiest way. So I just open a DWG, copy everything, inside, and now it's part of my project. The next thing that I'll do, I will load coordinates file that I received from my surveyor for the existing ground level. For that, all of you are familiar with the topography coordinates, but in the workspace, you see, I can have several coordinates list here. So by default, we have the topography and we have the design coordinates list. We can click here and open a new list, but I will use the existing, the topography. I will right click here, open, it will open below. It's similar like you are doing from here. It will open below and I will load the topo.txt file, which I have. And then all of you are familiar with the refresh button. I can do it also from here, right click, update. Okay. The good thing about updating from here is that this update works only on the points, while refresh works on the entire drawing. So obviously this will work much faster, but it's your own choice. And now I want to create contours, or in fact, what I'm more interested is what we call the surface, right? So all of you know this can go to topography contours to create the surface of the topography, but I can also do it from here, this surface. This is the surface of the topography. Right click, properties. I can see the properties on the right, and I can choose that intervals I want each, I don't know, 20 cm. And the maximum interpolation length, I will use 50 for this matter. It's not so important. Okay, so you can see the existing contours which appear here, with the boundary of the existing. But then I noticed that there are some crazy topography contours here, which obviously affect my surface and the accuracy of what I will design. I will therefore use but then I saw that in the original DWG, there are lines here. And when I look at them at the properties, I saw that there are 3D lines, vertex with 3D lines. I will then want to use them to be my break lines. I want to use this 3D polyline to be my break lines, so probably it will organize the mess that I see here in the contours. How do I do it? So I can do it from the topography lines, but I can go directly to the relevant surface, which is this surface, the topography. Right click it, set break lines, and tell the software, do it from layers. Automatically, the software will open to the right which layers I want to use. I'll do select. I will select this. So it says that the layer is photo lines and it's polylines, and I will apply. Okay, so you can see below the system what it does now. It scans the entire drawing with the entire 3D polylines, convert them into break lines, which will apply to the topography surface. The nice thing now is that in the past, it used to ask you a lot of questions, whether you want to add points, not. Now, everything is automatic. It means if on the vertex of the break line there is a point, it will not be created in the list. If it does not have, automatically it will be appended to the list below. So let's see, we're about to finish. Okay, this is the total break lines that were extracted from the 3D lines. Now let's see, go to the surface, tell the software to update the surface with the same parameter. Let's wait and see. if something changed here. Perfect. See the contours. Everything was arranged. The mess that I used to see, everything goes in between. Good. So my existing surface is here. And now I will do a short stoppage and to see I will give you room for questions. If you have questions, please post them on the chat. Now is the time. If someone have a question of what I've just demonstrated, this is the time. Post it on the chat, please. Okay. For now, I'll continue. If you want, just post on the chat, and later on I will do another break and try to answer again. So I have an existing surface, but I also have a roads design that I received. You remember the contours. You know what? I have too many features here. So let me. Okay, now it's better. So the existing is in gray and green, and the design is here in brown. But these contours are contours, but still not a surface within CivilCAD. It's not a surface in CivilCAD. Still. I want to convert it into surface. I will use the same methodology that I used in the existing to use the 3D polyline, this 3D polyline, and convert them into break lines. I will do the same for this line. I'll do the same for this line. In the past, we used to train you to go and scan them as points. You can still do it in filtering, but you can also scan them directly as break lines. And then there's increasing accuracy. So I'm going to the design surface. Again, right click, set break lines, form layers, select, for example, this one. So it says lightweight polyline, cont 20. Okay. Again, the system will scan everything. You can see it below and convert this line into break lines, which then allow us to create a surface out of them. Okay, it was done. And then I can go to the design properties. Let's do 20 cm and use maximum interpolation length of also 50, the same parameters. And apply. Let's wait. Okay. Good. Now I have the surface of the design. Now I have the surface of the design also. So I have two surfaces, the existing and the design. By the way, if you want to see the surface, I hope you know that you can do show triangles here. And then it will also show the triangles of the surface. Okay, this is the surface with the triangles here. But I don't need it. You know what? I would just freeze it. I don't need it. I don't need those break lines that I don't need to see. I mean, I need it, but I don't need to see. So I just freeze everything. And in fact, even the existing ground level, and since I have the surface, I want to design now. I'll put it, you know what? No, existing I still want to see. So I go to see topo. See topo. Okay, good. So I have the design surface here. I have the existing surface here on top of the edge. I'm ready. I'm ready. I can save my project, and now I can start designing. And the first thing I will do, I will design a water supply pipeline that will connect. There's a mark here. I want to connect from here, a water supply pipeline. And because you see, in this, someone else designed the water supply inside. So I want just to create another line from, this is not CivilCAD, this came from the drawing. I want to connect from here and do a water supply line that goes down to the south. For that, I'll create a new layer, like we know already, and I will call it a support layer. Support. Or you know what, I will call it water supply support layer. And I will make it the current. And I will start. So I'm doing a polyline from here. Just use my object snap endpoint from here. I'm connecting, going to here. I will move the object snap, and I want to go down south. So here to here, and from here, connect it somewhere. So this is the water supply, but for now it's just a line, so I'll use the usual methodology. I will call it water supply 1 and give it a name, water supply. And in the layout, select it to be a water supply line. So far, so good. Now, if I will continue, what you'll see so the first change that you see here about the labeling is this one. The labels here, we change them. So first of all, you can decide whether they are aligned to the north, like here, or if I wish, if I go to options, I can change them to be aligned to the pipe itself. So if I write like this, you will see now they are aligned to the pipe like they used to be. Or again, if I want, I can change them to align to the north. The second thing that we have done here is that all these labels are now M leaders. M leaders. It means there are M leaders connected to this. This is an M leader entity. It has a block. By the way, this block, you can also control it from here. The system by default create this DWG, which sits here, but you can create your own block, your own style of block, if you like. And then the system will associate it as an M leader. Okay? So I can take this, let's give it another color, say like this. And then, nice thing about the M leader that I can also play with it, with its location. So, for example, I don't want it to be here, I want it to change. So I'm not moving, I'm stretching, right? So it's an M leader with 2 legs. So I can do like this, do like this. By the way, the system will now remember the location of where you put your M leaders. So even if I apply, in the past, you know, it was used to redraw. Now, no, it will remember the location of the M leader. Okay, keeps its location. So this is a nice feature that we already have. Another one is the capability of changing the location of the turn. So there's a block here on the turn. I can take it, move it to here, for example, and apply. And then all the line will move. You see, with the M leader, everything moved to the new. Of course, ignore this one. This is my support line. I don't need it anymore. So again, I'm taking the block here, move it to here, apply, and the entire line will follow with M leader and everything, with correction of the labels and everything. Good. So this is something that we have added. You can also control the prefix here. So if this is WS1 and you want it to appear on the stations here, I can put here WS1 underscore and apply. And then you'll see it says WS1, 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 and so on. Good. All right. So I created my line, my water supply line. I will give it 400 millimeter. In this case, I choose to work with millimeter. You can set the units in the layout. So now it became wider, 400 millimeter, reflecting 400 millimeter. Another thing that I can do is control each label sizing. As you know, up till now, each size used to work, all the size, if you want to change, you can change them together using the scale. But now let's say, for example, that I want this to be 2 times bigger, but the rest is okay for me. So I'll use the option, go to options, and you see here, we have the scale like we used to have, but we also have text size for each element. So for example, if I want to change the stations to be twice bigger, so from 0.5 meter to 1 meter, which are the drawing units, I will apply, and now there will become twice the size, and obviously, since there are labels annotation, they will be placed in the right location. So now I can control the size of this, every element, these boxes, everything is here. Everything that you like. Good. So this is about that. Any questions so far? Any questions so far, team? Any questions so far on what I've shown so far? I know it's highly professional, but this is what we are here for. Any questions to participants? No questions. Okay. You can, if you have a question, just post it on the chat. Okay, someone asked me about roads. I'm not showing roads for now. I'm just showing, for now, I'm just showing a water supply. A water supply, and I just put the labeling here on the cross section, which are the label of the pipe itself. I'm doing it from here, prefix. I'm giving to the stations, I'm giving them prefix. I hope this is clearer. Water supply name of the, okay, this is what I answered the question. So I'm doing it from here. Okay, okay. Now, yes, please.
Yeah. Please, is this webinar going to be available for future reference? Because it's so interesting.
Yes, we will, when we finish, the recording will be distributed with all of you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm going to the section, as usual. I'm applying to see my section. As you already know, this is another DWG. In fact, I have this button on the upper left corner. If I click it here, I can see the two DWG side by side. I can see the layout and I can see the section. So this is one DWG and this is another DWG. Okay, but I will maximize again. Okay, what do I see here? I see the existing, okay, the usual, with the two turns, one turn and second turn, right? The two turns that I can see on the left. This is the first turn, and the second turn is here. See them on the right. And now, what I'm doing, by the way, I don't have a design ground level here because I'm not under any road or anything. So what I can do, I can go to options, drawing captions, and just remove it from here. If I do this and apply, then the design will be removed and the table will be shorter. In short, I can control what I want to see in the table. By the way, I can even disorder them or reorder them in the right way that I want. What else I can show you? I want to see, okay, I don't see the first station, probably because there's problem with spacing. So I can just force writing all data on the drawing. And if I click this, even if text overlap, everything will be shown. Another thing, for example, this, now we see it only on the drawing. We don't see it in the table. So if I'm going here now and click here, show turns on table, then we also see them here, turn 1 and turn 2. Okay. What else can I do here? I can control the intervals, the display interval. For example, I want to see them in 40 meters. So you see, now it's in 40 meters. So if in the past you needed to design in 20 or 40 meters, no, it's irrelevant anymore. Design however you want and just control the intervals of the display. And what I want to do to start designing. So what I'll do a polyline. I'll do it from here. Okay, so this is 2 meters. I'll go more or less 1.5 meters below the ground. And I will go more or less parallel to the topography. Okay, you know what? I'll do first one here, and the second break here, and the last one here. Good. If I apply, okay, all this data, as you know, shown in the table, right? The breaks. But the depth is not actually 1.5 because I did it more or less. So I would just take all of this, convert it to 1.5 meters with the same station, press enter and apply. And then now it's exactly 1.5 meters here, 1.5 meters here, 1.5 meters here, and 1.5 meters here. Good. What else? Okay, we improved the interaction between this and the table. So first of all, I will give a diameter to my pipe. Okay, this is important. We have two places to put diameter. We have it in the layout and we have it here. Okay. To remind you, we have a place to put diameter here in the layout we also have a place to put the emitter here in the table here. This will override, if there will be a conflict between if I put 600 here and there will be 400 in the layout, this will override. This will override the other one. So this is 400, okay? This is 400. And what we did now, we improved the interaction between this and the table below, meaning I can tick each vertex. For example, want to change it to here, come to the table, automatically it will be affected. You see, it changed. I don't need even to go to the apply. Again, let me explain again. Go from here, stretch it to here, go to the table to enter some more data. Automatically the drawing changed. And obviously I can change it also from here. So now if the depth is 1.49 and sorry, this is 3.929. I'll do it 2.5 meters. And apply, and it came back to 2.5 meters. So this is something else that we have entered. Another one is the sleeves. If I want to add a sleeve, for example, I'm passing a road somewhere here, and I want to add a sleeve that starts, let's say, at 110 and at 160. I'm saying from 110 to 160, the diameter of the sleeve will be 420 with a thickness of 5 millimeters. And if I will apply, I will see the sleeve. Okay, this is the sleeve. You can see it here. Okay, this is a small sleeve. Okay, so I can see the sleeve coming from here. Maybe I will just for us to understand 12 millimeters steel. Okay, provide the sleeve here. Then what I will do next, let me save my project. What I will do next, I will show you some features of the frames division. I'm changing the subject now. I'm going to frames division or frames maker. It's the two names for the two mechanisms that we have for dividing the drawing into frames. So the first one is the one that you know from here, frames maker. The good thing is that now the frame maker is here, but it's also appears here. For now, you will see that there's one frame and the frames, general frame one, also appear here. So I'll start by defining, let's say, A0 at a 250 scale. Here you can see that there are the arrow block, this is the path, and the logo block. You can control it. You can control which element will appear. You can also control the numbering. You'll see it when I'm doing it now. So let's put the first frame. I'm clicking here. Let's place it here. Okay. This is the frame. For my own purpose, I will call it now a frame support. And make it the, actually I don't need to make it the current. I just want to change this to be in frames support. Okay. And okay, this is not the right direction. I want to change it to rotate it. Okay. So I'm taking this from here Okay, this is the direction, and move it from here to here. And I will do another one, copy, and another one, copy here. Okay, so these are the 3 frames that I want. This is A0 frame at 1/250. But for now, these are just rectangles. They are not frames. To convert them into frame, I can do it from here, from the frames maker. I can do it here from the workspace. I will do it from the right, and so select, turn in software. This is the first one. Okay, the system, call it, name it 1. I create a new one, select, second, this is number 2. Select this one as number 3. That's it. If I will apply, okay, you can see it also interaction, the interaction here. If I will apply, okay. So here in the paper space, what we did, first of all, you can see that automatically the system select the right sheet at the background. You don't need to go and apply. So the layout of the sheet will be exactly A0, the white area. Also here, we gave it in blocks, in colors, sorry, layers. So first of all, the first one, what called front, I can change it to be blue, and it will be blue. Okay, so this is 1, 2, and 3. This is the frame, this is the location, you remember, and this is our pipeline. Okay. The blue is our pipeline. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And if I want to change a location of a, okay. Now, the new and wonderful thing that I can do now, let me delete all the frames. I want to delete them. And I will also delete them from the drawing, from the support layer. And instead of going like this, I want to use this one to do it automatically. We used to have this feature on roads. We improved it on roads, but we also improved it on on pipelines. So if I go to the section, sorry, to the section, and press this button here. It's a new button here, Frames Division. And I will define that I want this to be at 101 to 1000. And I want it to be exactly the same as before, A0. You know what? I will use smaller now. I will use A2. And I want to see both layout and section together. And let's apply. I want an overlap of 20 meters between sheets. Now the software will go along the alignment, the horizontal alignment of my pipeline, and create sheets automatically. I don't need to define them. So 2 sheets have been created. This is 1, this is 2. Let's go to the first one. This is the first sheet with the sleeve. Okay, and it goes for me. Okay, I see a problem here. I don't see, this is cutting. So the system, you see, the system chosen here on the extent. How can I fix it? This is a new thing. I can go to module. I'm going to the, you see the 2 frames are being created here. I can right click it, set boundaries. Okay, let's do it in 2 steps. First of all, I want to replace this one to fix location. So like this, to include everything that I see here. It's a problem what I did, because okay, maybe like this. Yeah, right. Like this would be. Let me remove the object snap, sorry. Good. After I place the new position of the frame, I'm right-clicking here, set boundaries, select boundary, and this is the new boundary of frame number 1. And now I want to update the sheet with it. I'm right-clicking, update. And now the system will recreate with the new location. You see? Sorry, 1 second. What happened is that now I can see my entire pipeline by the new location. So in summary, we did a lot of changes to the frames, both to the general, what we call frames maker, and also to the frames division, which is now on water supply and also on roads. You can update a single frame if you are unsatisfied with the location. You can automatically get the sheet in the background. All this is A1 or A2, which I've chosen. Again, this is not training, it's just demonstration, but if you have questions, let me know. If not, I'm moving to the next item. Okay, if anyone has a question, you can post it in the chat. Meanwhile, I will continue, and now what I will do, I'll show you some more features, and now I'll show it on another pipeline, a sewage pipeline. Okay, so what was it? Water supply. I will create another one. I will create sewage and support there. Sewage support layer. Make it the current. Give it a color. I don't know, like this, and place it here. So my pipeline starts from here now and goes this direction. And what I'll do, I'll divide it into 40 meters. So let me zoom in up till here to this junction, 40 meters. So 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. I can do it automatically or okay, 40 meters. So this is the location. And to do, okay, this is the junction, is here. From here I have a split. And I'm changing direction, going with this road, going to here. Good. So this is my first pipeline, and I will have another one which goes from here, endpoint, and let's put it here, this direction also 40 meters, 40, 40, 40, 40. The last one will not be 40 here. Okay, so these are support lines. For now, they're just polylines. To convert it into pipeline, you know the drill. Starter 1, sewage 1, sewage 2, and sewage and sewage. Good. I'm going to the layout, changing to sewage 1, select. So this is sewage 1, and the second one will be, sorry, sewage 2. Let's see. Now, okay. You are all familiar with the sewage, but you know what, I will freeze some layers. I don't need the existing. I don't need this. Okay. Okay. Good. So this is a manhole. Okay. Manhole 209, for now no diameter. You can see that what we did, we changed the way it appears. We organize it better. So now the appearance would be much better. What does it mean? It means that I first can control, we differentiate into layers. For example, the name of the manhole, can now give it orange color. Okay, so this will be different. Wait, what is this? It's confusing. Okay. So, but I can also control, like I did in the water supply, for each element, I can control its size. So for example, if I want the name to be bigger, let's say twice bigger, I can control this. You can see it becomes twice bigger, but the spacing between text is kept aligned all the time. So this is twice bigger. What else I can do? I can control the distance between them. If I'm going here and do line spacing and changing from 1.5 to 2, for example, and apply, then the line spacing will change to be wider. See? It's good and not good. It's maybe more, some people like it like this, depends on the scale that they want to print, but when we have too many items, one on top of the other, the spacing sometimes is not so good. So what I'll do now, I will go back and use the 1.5 scale spacing for me to continue. Okay, the next thing that I want to do, is the usual thing, section. I'll go to, sorry, I didn't close it before. Section. I will open the sewage that I'm working on, apply to see, okay, so this is the sewage and this is the intersection with the other pipeline, right? Pipeline switch 2. And if I'm going and changing to design and get D, I will also see the elevation of the road. Okay, this is the road from the surface of the road. But here I see a problem. You see this? This is very common. I see it many times. Okay, what is the reason? Probably a surface problem. The road surface, what we call design surface, is not accurate. Let's see. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, see what happens here. Wait. Let's bring the contours. I close them. CG. Okay, now I see the problem. The problem is here. You see, there are a lot of contours here. Probably the filtering that I used, one of the polyline was very low, maybe in 0 or something like that. And this is what created this. It's not 0, this is 11, where my design is, okay, it's 100 meter below. So what I will do, I can go and fix my surface on the left, but I don't want to do that. Instead of fixing the surface, which will take me time to understand which point is affecting my surface, I want to design it here. So I have all the data here. I know that this is, if I stand here, I can see that at 290 meter from the beginning. I can see it here, from here, 290 from the beginning. If I go to 290, okay, you see, everything is 43, but I have 3 points here much lower, 36, 34, 48. It's a problem with the data that I receive from the road designer also there. So what I just mark all of them, right click, delete, sorry, all of them, delete, apply, and that's it, problem solved. Okay, now I want to continue. And I'm using the same methodology. You know what? This time around, I will just start with 1.5 meter in the ground, and I see the ground level is more or less 1.3%, and then go up to here, and then go 3.6%. So I will start with a slope of 1.4%. Let's see. Okay, you see what happened? The datum went down. It went down probably because of the existing interference. So what I can do to fix it is to control, because now the system controls the datum, but I can fix it too. So I want the datum to be, let's say, 32. I'm going and clicking lock datum, changing to 32, and apply. And then the system, to some extent, we look the datum on 32. So now everything is good. And now I want to continue and go up by 3.5%. 3.5%. Okay, 3.5, I'm seeing already that it's a problem. Let's try 3%. Okay, 3%. I went 3% and see what happened. I went over, and the system automatically alerts that from here, I'm starting having a problem. I'm very exposed, and here I'm even going up above the ground, which might be the case, but this is not the case that I want to use now. So what I'll do, I change from here. Okay. Okay. I will change from here. Okay. Unlike water supply, in drainage and sewage, if I change graphically, I cannot change it to the left and right. I have to go up, down at the same location. If I do it like this, then I will have no problem. Otherwise, it will be a problem. Okay, so I fix this one, which is 360, this one, and now from here, I will change the slope to be, again, 1.3% like the rest. Good. So that's it. Now I'm good. Now I'm good. This is my pipeline. This is what I've designed. This is my pipeline. This is what I've designed. Let's see some new features on crossings. Crossings. So we see that someone designed here water supply, and I'm crossing them here and here. I want to identify this crossing. Okay. I want to identify them, so all of you knows already on the crossings. If I select, let's say this one. So this is the layer, new 100 and something, but there's another one here. So I'll select this one as well. Okay, sorry, let's start with this one. And let's go to the next one. Okay, so these are all the crossings. All the crossings, if I will apply, I will see them on the drawing. And this is a new thing. See the crossing? I hope you can see the red. You know what? I will give it. Again, some kind like even green. Okay. So again, these are M leaders. Same as the labels that we saw before. We can control it from here, the block. We can control the block from here. We can display it aligned to the north or aligned to the pipeline. And it's an M leader, so if I'm unhappy from the location, I can change it to here. And do the same for this one. And the good thing, we said already that the system will remember the change. So even if I will apply or do anything else, it will keep the location. So these are the crossing points. And the good thing is now that the crossing shows you more data. It shows you that the invert level of the pipe in this location is 33, but the location of the crossing is 42. The diameter of the crossing is 40. Well, I'm not sure this is the right, but this is what it took from the diameter. If I want to change it, for example, I know that this is 110. I'm using cm here. Let me make it, I think, 110 in millimeter. 110. Let's see. Okay, so now it's 110. Okay, and this is the crossing type, 4-5. Okay, it's the type. If I go to the section, obviously you know already, but I will see the crossings. Okay, crossing here are in centimeter. So let me change it into reasonable. So it will be 11 and so 11, which is 110 if you like in millimeter. Good, and section. Okay, so these are the crossing. This is the crossing. Okay, all of you know. And now what I want to do is that let me give the pipeline. We said it's 400 millimeter. Okay, by the way, here I have a problem I'm about to expose, but let's leave it like this. I want to show you something about this thing. We call it keep fixed slope, keep fixed invert level. What does it mean? It means that in the table, in the drawing, if you change the invert level of a specific, then this specific manhole will change, right? Then take it. Okay, now I have a problem because I'm on the crossing, but this is just one example. I'll change it now. Now, what I want to do now, I want to do it from the table. So this is, now I'm 377, this is the one. I have two methods. One, if I change, for example, the elevation, now I'm on fixed slope. That means that if I'm changing the depth or in the invert level of this, all the rest will change. All the rest of the invert level, this one and this one, will change, keeping the same slope. But if I'm using fixed invert level, even if I change this, this will be remaining in the same location. So this is about this, is also a new feature. I will tell the software to calculate the size and to calculate the drops inside the manholes. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So now we have a small drop from here to here, which is according to the slope. I think it's 1 cm. So I'm almost done. I will do some last thing to show. I will show something about road. I will not start from all over again because it will take me a long time. Instead, I'll go to roads. I will open a road which exists here. And this one. This is another project. Okay, this is a road project that I can see here. So first of all, for the cross section, as you all know, or I don't know if you know, we changed the environment. So now the cross sections are also DWG. The cross section are also DWG. This is a DWG. We hide the intermediate. If I'm scrolling between them, the software will not zoom out, but always keep on the same location. It's also new. Okay, the problem is that I'm climbing. So The zoom goes up all the time. We also did an improvement to the closure. It will be much more accurate now in terms of accuracy by the millimeter. And something else that I can do, something nice, if I go to sheets division, now I don't need to use DXF. I can do it in paper space like I used to have, but now instead of putting the DXF, I'm just clicking here. Let's say 150 and 150 on A10 sheets. So what will happen, the system will now create a DWG directly. So let's call it CS, cross sections, okay? Then the system will now create DWG sheets of each sheet of cross sections. Takes time, still processing. So in the background, instead of creating DXF, the system creates DWG directly using the template that we are using here, the same colors that I'm using here. So if I go to the folder of the documents, 11, samples, you see all of them here. For example, let me take this. All these are new sheets. I take this one and put it here. See, this is a sheet. Okay, could not add more sections. So this is the sheet of section. I always automatically get it in DWG with the colors and everything. Guys, that's it for today.